Hello, and welcome to V&L Broadcast. Today we will be talking about drug abuse and how the percentage of teens has increased. In a survey, it is found that 15.9 million Americans 12 years and older have either tried or is currently using an illicit drug. Most high school seniors are overdosing on over-the-counter or prescription drugs because they believe it's a safer way to get high. Even though these substances are very easy to get a hold of, it doesn't mean that they're any safer to use. Today we will be talking to Mr. Mickle about his opinion on drug programs and if he thinks they're effective.
Yeah. Hi, Mr. Mickle. How are you today?
Good. How are you doing, Lisa?
I'm doing good. I'm here to ask you a couple of questions about the abuse of drugs.
Okay.
As you know, there's a program called DARE, Drug Abuse Resistant Education. Do you think this program is good?
Yeah, I do think it's a good program.
As a health teacher, you know that you try to explain the abuse of drugs. What's your main idea about the abuse?
The main idea is to stop abusing the drugs, to give students other options, other avenues to explore rather than drug use, and to explain to them how unhealthy it is for them and give them some ways to avoid those situations.
Do you think the abuse of drugs today is a bad thing? Like, in the percentage is going up?
Yes, I do.
Younger teens are doing it?
Yeah, even though we have more education about it, there are more and more kids that are experimenting with different types of drugs, more so than maybe 10 years ago, 15 or 20 years ago. So it is still a problem, and it continues to be a big problem.
And do you support the idea of DARE, and do you want to make any changes with it?
No, I do support DARE, and I think it's a good program, and there's no changes that I can think of right now.
Okay, that's all for today, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, LaSalle. That was a great interview. DARE has taught over 8,000 students over the United States, and it is found that most drug abuse starts from peer pressure. Some of your friends might try to tell you that it's cool or that if you don't do it, they're not going to be your friends anymore. Your friends might also try to convince you that if you drink alcohol, then it's not as bad as getting high, and therefore you can't be harming yourself. But it's a proven fact that 50% of teens who try alcohol are more likely to try cocaine as well. Teens, young adults, and adults are all trying new drugs every day. Glenn Beck is a man that some of you may be familiar about. He was once a drug addict, and today we're going to listen in on how drugs affected his life.
The way I treated people or the things I did in my life, I still blush at times, try to let it go. But by the time I was 30, I was friendless, working in the smallest market in radio I had ever worked in. Even at 15 years old, hopeless alcoholic, using drugs every day. My family was just a shambles. The biggest change was I was trying to find a job. Nobody would hire me. Nobody believed that I really changed my ways and couldn't get an agent to represent me or anything. I looked for about 2 years to try to find an entrance into talk radio. And my wife-to-be, said she wouldn't marry me.
Doing drugs doesn't only affect you, it affects your family, your friends, and everyone else around you. Students everywhere are trying drugs. By the time most students get to the 8th grade, 52 adults have consumed alcohol, 41 have smoked cigarettes, and 20% have tried marijuana. Drug abuse is everywhere, so don't let it get to you.